Good morning, everyone. Welcome. My name is Menachem Creditor. It's my honor to serve as scholar in residence and rabbi for UJA Federation of New York. We bring you Torah and music, blessing, and community every weekday. We've been doing so since March 18th, 2020. Today it is Thursday, August 27th, 2026. That is 6.5 years of Torah every single weekday morning, finding each other from across the world just to spend time together, which is such a gift. Scott and Bria, Jonathan, and Susie. My sister Tzira is here, sending love all the way to Sydney. Kathleen, Scott, Debbie, and John. Carl, good to see all of you. Linda and Jack. Tzira, you're saying Boker Tov. That's very sweet of you. And Bria, you're in Spain. Okay, we are on at least 3 continents, friends. This is amazing. Amazing. Good to see all of you. Patricia and Judy, Arlene, George, and Barry, Boker Tov. Good to see all of you. A few more hellos, then we'll sing a bracha and learn some Torah. Barbara and Ashley, good to see all of you. Okay, here we go. Let's take a breath, sing a bracha. Let's learn some Torah. Hi, Corinne. Hi, Karen. Stanley Vickers, it is your anniversary, I believe. Your beautiful wife posted such a picture of the two of you from your wedding. I think this is your 53rd anniversary. Wishing you and Diane so much love. Today's Torah is for you. So good morning, everyone. Today's Torah is dedicated, celebrating the anniversary of Diane and Stan. And also John is sharing, and I want to amplify your dedicating of your own learning and ours. I'm just going to read what John wrote. I'd like to dedicate our learning today to the memory of an old friend from Ramat Nayak and Binghamton, who lost a long battle with cancer Tuesday night, Ariel Biro. So blessing Ariel's memory, and John, blessing your heart with comfort too. Friends, let's get started with a little bit of Torah. And for this, I first want to thank my wife, my amazing teacher, my beloved Neshama, who, in addition to everything else that she brings into my life, she has introduced me to the wisdom teaching of Naomi Graetz, who has a beautiful, beautiful way with heart and words. She has done many things, including taught English at Ben Gurion University for 35 years. She wrote a book on biblical motifs and spousal abuse that changed the Jewish world, finally got us talking and breaking the taboo a little bit, though not enough. And among other things that she continues to do, she has written a very powerful blog for the last number of years on the Torah portion. And her commentary this week, Neshama sent to me. It is stunning. I'm not going to do it justice. I hope that you will find it yourself on the Times of Israel, look up Naomi Graetz, and you will find just a powerful, powerful human being with so many beautiful and important things to say. So let's get to it. And thank you, Penny. It's broadcast 1621. So this week's Torah portion, Ki Tavo, includes many elements that we've already discussed. Rules about when we enter the land, how to bring Bikurim, the first fruits. But it ends with a very, very harsh section of text that we actually read in a quiet undertone when we read it from the Torah traditionally. It's called the Tochacha. There's a set of blessings and a set of curses that close this week's Torah portion. And the blessings, of course, are beautiful to hear, but the curses are not. And what Naomi points to in her drush is, first of all, the blessing of her husband, my colleague and teacher also, Rabbi Michael Graetz, who was an optimist, who managed to find the best in everything, and he battled cancer for 10 years, and what she quotes from him is, if you have to have cancer, that's the one you should get. And he resisted treatment for some time and then became an advocate for that treatment. And he read an article about it, he began quoting it, he taught everyone about this, and managed to find his own way through optimism, through life, even to the end of his life. And what Naomi points to is that attitude is itself a way of understanding the blessing in this Torah portion. And then she goes even deeper. Here in New York, where she finds herself this week, she went to her great-nephew's bar mitzvah. And he gave a talk on this beautiful Torah portion. And she gives an excerpt of her grandnephew's bar mitzvah drush in her own blog. So I want to honor her and her honoring of him by bringing that into our teaching. When you read ancient rabbinic text, you might find phrases like, Rabbi blank said in the name of Rabbi blank, who received it from blank, who heard it from blank. And that Shalshelet HaKabbalah, that chain of tradition, is the way we bring redemption to the world, by acknowledging that the wisdom that we hope to share comes from somewhere. Even things that feel innovative are often products of all the different influences around us. And so I want to quote my teacher, Naomi Graetz, whose wisdom I received from my wife, Neshama, quotes her grandnephew, Peret, and says the following, that those who decided to create the Siddur, the prayer book that we have, had to make decisions. And the decisions were, what do you include? Remember, in the ancient world, recitation of the Torah was the tradition. And so when you're creating a prayer book which will excerpt parts of the Torah, which parts will be included? And so Peret, Naomi's grandnephew, said they could have chosen Ki Tavo because it includes the themes of our history from Egypt, the consequences of our actions, and the reminders of the mitzvot, so that we will observe them in the future. And the Anshe Knesset HaGdolah, the people who chose what was going to go into the Siddur, the prayer book, chose the Shema because it has the themes. But this Parsha does too. And he says this is why they chose the Shema and not this week. Because the first paragraph, Ve'ahavta, is about love. It's a foundational relationship with God. The second paragraph, Ve'haya, introduces blessings and curses, perhaps similar to this week's Torah portion, and teaches that our actions have consequences. And the final paragraph, Vayomer, looks back at the Exodus and tells us about a mature stage of life and what we do in it, including wrapping tzitzit, so that we can hold all of the tradition around our bodies, learning the lessons. But this is very powerful, what Peret says next, and that Naomi chose to share it. Ki Tavo, our Torah portion, describes the consequences of failing to follow the mitzvot. And this is what the lesson, I think, for us to reflect upon is. It's not enough to know how we should act. We also need to know how to respond when we fail. And during this month of Elul, when we are working our way towards Rosh Hashanah, That is a message we truly, truly need. What is it to seek forgiveness after we fail? The Torah doesn't actually have the notion of tshuva, of repentance, that we consider so central in our Jewish lives. The Torah says if you sin, this is the punishment. But as Jewish tradition evolved through the prophets and beyond, we began to wonder about correction to our deeds so that we might atone and not suffer the punishment. And what a powerful thing it is for us to consider. This is how Peret concludes his Dvar Torah. Naomi includes it in her teaching. This is the bridge between Ki Tavo, this Torah portion, and the month that is about to begin. We are not defined only by our mistakes. We have the possibility of changing what comes next. Naomi quotes Peret, honors her beloved husband Michael of blessed memory, and says, I can be there with my family to celebrate this wonderful occasion and feel the absence of others. I'm going to try to take Ki Tavo at its word, she says, but not necessarily the way its authors intended. This year, I choose to pay attention to the blessings, not because the curses are not real, they are. And she speaks as an Israeli. Not because the country's problems have disappeared, they have not. And certainly not because optimism can erase grief or suffering, rather because we still have a choice about what we do with the reality we have been given. Think about all the things Naomi just taught us. We've been handed so much. And what a beautiful way of facing the world that will continue to hand us so much, and to face the world as people who know we have failed. Of course we have. This is a month of acknowledging it and doing what we can, whatever is in our power, to get it right this time. Because our tradition developed and made choices so that we would have language with which to do this work. So, in honor of Naomi, in memory of Michael, in honor of Naomi's grandnephew, Peret, in memory, John, of your friend, Ariel, and Stan and Diane, in honor of your beautiful union. What a gift, friends, for us to continue doing this holy work of reflecting on our own deeds, doing better this time around, and learning from the teachers we are blessed to experience. Let's send our hearts to the east. Let's sing. Kol hod balevav pnima nefesh Yehudi homiya ulefate mizrach kadima ayin letzion tzofia on lo avda tikvatenu התקווה בת שנות 2000 להיות עם חופשי בארצנו ארץ ציון וירושלים להיות עם חופשי בארצנו ארץ ציון Virushalayim. Am Yisrael Chai. See you tomorrow, my friends.